How to replace the thermal paste in a laptop. At the request of fans, today we're replacing the thermal paste on the Dell G15 2021. Let's reduce the CPU temperature by 7.4 degrees Celsius in 6 simple steps, easily improving your laptop's performance. Tutorials for replacing and upgrading thermal paste on laptops are available in the main tutorial collection on our homepage. You can also comment with your model if you need specific guidance. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Step 1. Get tools ready. Many tools are needed to replace the laptop's thermal paste. Apart from the thermal paste and thermal paste cleaning wipes, some gadgets can help you to disassemble the laptop much more easily. If you don't want to buy them separately, you can find our total solution combo in our profile. Step 2. Remove the laptop case and battery. Before you start disassembling the computer, it's highly recommended to wash your hands or wear gloves or an anti-static wristband to eliminate static electricity. With the laptop facing up, use a PH0 screwdriver to remove the 4 screws from the bottom cover. Note that the 4 screws in the middle are captive screws, and just unscrewing them is enough. It's advised to use a magnetic mat to avoid mixing or losing screws. Prepare the triangular pry tool and spudger. Open the laptop and insert the triangular pry tool into the ventilation hole on the right side of the chassis, then pry around the edges to separate the cover. Use the spudger to gently lift the cover by prying up and down, which will make it easier to open. After removing the bottom cover, use the spudger to disconnect the power cable. Simply push the black plastic protrusion on the connector down with the spudger to disconnect it. After removing the power cable, remember to press and hold the power button for 15 seconds to discharge any residual power. Step 3. Remove the heatsink and old thermal paste. Use the spudger to disconnect the power cables from both cooling fans. Remove the 1 screw securing the left cooling fan. Unfasten the 2 larger screws above the motherboard. Lift the laptop and remove the 2 larger screws on the top connectors. Remove the top plastic cover. Disconnect the screen ribbon cable from the motherboard. Using tweezers, carefully remove the 6 ribbon cables below the motherboard. Be sure to first pry open the connector clips and gently pull out the cables without using excessive force. Remove the 2 screws from the SSD heatsink and take off the heatsink. Remove the SSD. Unscrew the Wi-Fi card and remove its screws. Disconnect the Wi-Fi ribbon cable and remove it. Remove the Wi-Fi card. Unfasten the 5 screws from the motherboard. Remove the 2 screws from the metal plate on the left side of the motherboard. Take off the metal plate. Remove the 2 screws from the metal plate near the charging port on the right side of the motherboard. Take off this metal plate as well. Gently remove the motherboard. Flip the motherboard over and unscrew the 6 anti-loose screws on the cooling module in numerical order. Use a high-quality screwdriver, such as the Kooling Monster Combo 01, and apply vertical pressure to prevent stripping the screws. Slowly and gently lift the cooling module from both sides to remove it. To clean the old thermal paste more efficiently, we recommend using Kooling Monster Clean 01 thermal paste cleaning wipes. If you're worried about getting your hands dirty, you can use the disposable gloves included in our kit. Here you can see, the thermal paste on the processor has dried up after years of use, reducing its cooling efficiency. It needs timely replacement. Make sure to clean off the remaining thermal paste from the cooling module. Step 4. Clean the fan. Using a PH000 screwdriver, remove the 8 screws from the fan. Flip the cooling module over and remove the fan. We use an anti-static brush and compressed air for cleaning. Use the anti-static brush to clean the dust off the fan blades and the cooling module. When using compressed air, maintain a small distance to prevent liquid from spraying out. Compressed air helps clean the small details and significantly improves dust removal efficiency. After cleaning, don't forget to clean the dust off the backplate as well. Step 5. Apply thermal paste. Here we used Kooling Monster Cold 01 High Performance Thermal Paste. Apply an appropriate amount of thermal paste on the surfaces of the CPU and GPU. After applying the thermal paste, you can use the spatula to evenly spread out the thermal paste and remove the excess. You can also use the pea-size method if you like. Step 6. Reassemble your laptop. Now, reassemble everything in reverse order. Place the right fan back into the cooling module. Use a PH000 screwdriver to screw in the fan's securing screws. Repeat the same for the left fan. Gently place the cooling module back in. Using a PH0 screwdriver, tighten the screws on the cooling module in numerical order, first to about 70%, then fully tighten them to avoid excess pressure. Flip the motherboard back over and place it back in the chassis. Insert the SSD at an angle, making sure to align the notch. Attach the heatsink and secure it with 2 screws. Reinstall the Wi-Fi card and ribbon cable, securing the cable with its connector clip. Tighten the screws and reinstall the metal plate near the charging port on the right side of the motherboard. Tighten the 2 screws. Reinstall the metal plate on the left side of the motherboard and tighten the 2 screws. Reinstall the 5 screws on the motherboard. Secure the left cooling fan with its screws. Reconnect the screen ribbon cable to the motherboard. Reconnect the remaining 6 ribbon cables. Reconnect the power cables for both cooling fans. Neatly organize the cables. Reinstall the top plastic cover and secure it with the 2 large screws. Reinstall the 2 large screws on the top connectors. Finally, reconnect the power cable to the motherboard. Press the power button to check if everything is working. Reinstall the bottom cover, clip the edges into place, and tighten all the screws. Follow and subscribe to Kooling Monster and let us know which laptops to demo this process with next.